What makes it a strategy RPG, and what makes it just an RPG with strategies? Today on the Commune podcast, we'll be talking about Live Alive, a game that lives on the edge between JRPG and SRPG.
Hello, and welcome back to the Commune podcast number 7. Remember, there is no number 6. This week we're playing, well, for the next month or two, we'll be playing Live Alive, which is a Super Nintendo Japanese RPG from Squaresoft. So, but before we get into the meat of the podcast, let's just meet everybody this week. How are you doing, Shouty?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm unprepared for the question. That's how I'm doing.
Sounds great.
Wario fan, how's the day treating you?
Oh, so far so good.
Alright, I'd like to hear that. And Soup Egg, our last guest, how are you doing?
I am doing quite well, thank you.
Alright, looks like everybody's whole in one piece. So, Wario fan, what have you been playing since the last time you were on the podcast?
I have been absorbed into Runner 2.
Are you like a playable character, or...?
Yeah, I have become one with the game. But no, I'm really enjoying it so far. I really like the first one too, so I'm really digging it. It's also got, as a bonus, Charles Martinet's in it. So
yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Is it as hard as the first one? I played through the first world at a friend's house, so I know what the beginning was like.
There's I don't think this was in the original Wii release, but there's a difficulty select now in this one, so that's something.
Okay. So, are you enjoying the music? Anything notable?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the whole series is based around rhythm, so of course it's all the music is always fun to listen to. There's extra characters here, extra moves. It's all secret stages and everything, like all Super Mario World alternate route style. It's great.
That's a little weird. In a rhythm game?
Yeah. They
Huh.
went all out.
Okay. Soup Egg, what have you been playing since the last time you were on?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem Awakening recently.
So, on casual or normal?
Casual, always casual, forever casual. I will never ever play Fire Emblem not on casual.
Does that mean you won't play older Fire Emblem games?
That means I will not play older Fire Emblem games. That is exactly what that means.
But as on casual mode though, is it holding up?
It holds up extremely well. I've beaten it. And I'm still playing it. It's just a great game.
So are you planning to... You've beaten it and you're still playing it. Are you looking at DLC?
Well, there's not actually enough room on my 3DS for the DLC, but I probably won't get any DLC. There's enough content in the game already that the DLC doesn't really appeal to me.
Well, that's cool that Nintendo is taking that approach with DLC, as opposed to making it so you have to buy the ending.
Yeah, yeah, that would not be good. They made their pledge that it was all going to be additional content and that none of it is on the cartridge, and that seems to be true. So,
maybe Nintendo's really slow on DLC, but I do like the approach they've been taking.
they're slow in a very, very good way here.
Yes. Maybe some of the stuff is overpriced, I don't know, about $3 for one map. But I'm excited to see where stuff like New Super Luigi Brothers goes.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
As long as it's
some
not...
of the DLC for Fire Emblem is cheating, basically. There's this one that just makes it really easy to get gold, and there's this one that makes it really easy to get legendary weapons and stuff like that.
That's the...
But for the most part, though, it's extra characters and extra maps and stuff, so it's pretty good.
Extra characters seems a little cheap.
There's 2 ways to get extra characters, isn't there?
Yeah, within the context of Fire Emblem and this game in particular, extra characters is not cheap at all. It kind of works, and actually the extra characters kind of suck because of how the game works. But
Okay. So, between Fire Emblem and Live Alive, which one's the better tactical RPG?
Live Alive, Live a Live, that game isn't really. I don't really consider it a tactical RPG. So.
Oh my! I guess we'll
It
get
just
into that
kind
later.
of. Yeah, it just kind of has a similar battle system, but I think much more of your experience in Live a Live happens outside of battle. There's so much that happens in the game that's like story related and
Okay.
stuff like that. So
So, Shouty, have you been playing video games?
Yeah, I have.
Would you be able to discuss them?
Yeah, I can. And I'm playing Bulldozer. Events.
Ooh.
It was one of the later releases in Game Boy Advance's lifetime.
Is that 2006?
Yeah, 2006. I didn't get it when it came out. I thought about it, but I never got it until like very recently. And I've always wanted to play it, and I think I'm satisfied with what it's given me so far.
I liked it. Anything notable about it?
Well, it's made by Game Freak, and it's not a Pokemon game.
Yeah, I wish they would do more than Pokemon.
Harmonite is coming out soon.
Oh, that's true.
And it's under this system where if you can present an idea and other people agree with it, they'll give you 3 months time to work on it. And if they think the production is going well, they'll give you 3 more months. And if it's still going strong, they'll give you 6 months and they'll take your production seriously.
And that's how Game Freaks works?
That's how it works now. And that's the system under which Harmonite was being developed.
Okay.
I don't think Bulldozer had that luxury.
I liked, I guess the only thing I remember from Bulldozer really is the music.
Yeah, the music is pretty good. Game Freak makes great music.
I didn't love their music.
Yeah. I've played it some other time, and I was stuck at this one boss that involves some really awkward controls.
Yeah. I think we talked about that. There's like really long tubes and you have a limited time.
Oh no, not that. I just beat that, but there's one. I don't want to spoil it though. I'll just say that his awkward controls in him. I didn't realize it could be made easier with a simple button. I don't know how to use it. But yeah, it's very fun, and I'm pretty glad I made the purchase. So I'm as happy as I thought I'd be while playing it.
You're not as happy?
No, I am.
Oh, okay. You correctly estimated your happiness level.
Yes, my satisfactory levels.
For those not familiar with Live Alive, it's got a turn-based combat system like any standard Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest game, but your characters are placed on a checkerboard. So, the first thing that came to my mind was, Shining Force, or Fire Emblem. But, well, I'm not sure it's that simple. Let's take a look at how people played and see if we can suss out where exactly Live Alive fits on the spectrum of things.
For this week in Live Alive, we played the Caveman chapter. I guess first off, what was your favorite move? What particular move did you find the most use for, Seabed?
for the most part, I just kind of hit things with a stick. it seemed to be better than most of his other moves, until a certain point. Like, he has several moves early on, which I didn't find very useful. He has a kick, which didn't seem very useful. Eventually he started a fire, which I liked, and it was also cute because he was a caveman. And it made me feel like I was being tactical because it also made one of the spaces be fire and it could hit the enemy several times, and so I like that move. But for the most part, I did the normal attack.
I think the kick is useful when you need to push enemies away from you.
Is that what it does?
If it's a smaller enemy. If it's a bigger enemy, it won't budge. I also really dug the fire move, except that there's a build-up time.
Yeah, there is.
I guess starting a fire does take a while.
Especially if you're a caveman. You have to make it legitimately.
Yeah, you have to put time in R&D.
Yeah. I don't think Pogo had a lighter.
So, Shouty, did you find yourself liking any move in particular?
I think my favorite move was one of Gory's, in which he threw his species at an enemy and it created a poison field.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah.
That was feces?
Yeah, it was a little turd.
Oh.
It was feces?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, looked like a
What else could it be?
That's disturbing now.
During the first half of the game, that move was really useful because it did enough damage to enemies and it cleared up enough space that it was worthwhile. But I found that around the midway point, it was just too weak to be useful.
Yeah, but it's a special place in my heart.
Because of the feces or because of the spaces?
A little of both.
Wario fan, did you have a favorite move?
Well, I just went with the basic bang bang attack. Most of the time, I severely misjudged how this game rolls, so I kind of felt pressured to choose my move right away. So I just kept mashing the A button.
Oh, you were playing it like a ATB.
Yeah.
Active time battle, right?
Right.
I guess my favorite move eventually was the burp text. They usually cleared up a huge portion of the screen, and they were a little. The damage was okay.
Yeah. It felt like that move was specifically invented for, those massive caveman enemy encounters.
Ah, those were really annoying.
But, thankfully, with burp, they were slightly less annoying.
Yeah. There was also, there's a screen, Pogo learns one technique that clears out the entire screen, I think.
Oh, that's what I was talking about. What are you talking about?
The entire screen technique was like a confusion technique or something?
Maybe. I just know it did a little damage to everyone. So it, cleared out all the cavemen.
I think all the burp techs had, a limited, field.
Maybe it wasn't a burp then, but he did have that screen clearing move.
Yeah. So, I guess from there, how did you build a strategy whenever you got into a battle? Shouty?
I didn't really feel the need to strategize, at least for caveman. I think I just used, if I was far away, I guess I would use the Fuse's attack. Or if, I don't know, nearby, I would just use normal attacks. If I had the girl, I would just heal whenever I needed to.
Okay, so it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Wario fan, is that how you feel?
Well, I had pretty poor planning during my playthrough. Anything that was bigger than 4 squares, I ran away.
Isn't it all the enemies?
Shut up!
In this game, it's like every enemy, pretty much.
You were murdering innocent puppies in the beginning.
And you were perfectly fine with that.
Baby mammoths, and then it starts getting a little intimidating. Then you see saber-toothed tigers, and they're taking up like 16 squares, and I'm like, no way. I'm not gonna win that one.
Well, you're gonna have fun when you fight like a 10-square Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan is a caveman at times?
Oh, no.
God, it's eternal.
He's everyone's brother.
It is really satisfying when you meet larger enemies. I feel like I like getting to beat up big things.
Yeah.
That's what being caveman is all about.
That's
The
true.
ultimate man.
Being a bully.
I learned that from the Flintstones.
You know,
It is weird in JRPGs like this, though, how a lot of times, like, the player characters are pretty small, and then the enemy characters, who are also humans, are really big.
I think that just makes me more relatable. I mean, aren't you small?
Final Fantasy VI has a huge problem with that, where like the player sprites are super ugly and super teeny tiny, and then all the enemy sprites have like no animation, but they look like normal things.
Yeah.
But so
And that's kind of true in this game, too.
well, I like the player sprites more in this than in Final
I like
Fantasy.
them, but they're small and...
Yeah.
At least you can tell when you're gonna fight against the character who's gonna join you up later.
Right.
So Shouty, how do you build strat? Sorry,
yes.
I did it again. Soupeg, how do you build strategies?
Well, in the caveman chapter, it's not as necessary, because in the caveman chapter you can grind a lot, and I kind of did grind a lot. Like I was always pretty
Oh man,
well powered.
grinding.
like coffee.
But right, you can sniff out your enemies. You know where they are. It's very handy. But usually I just tried to, like the Live Live battle system is all about positioning. So I tried to kind of have the ape and Pogo in like different corners of the screen. So then between the two of them, they could take out all the enemies without having to move too much.
Oh, I see. It kind of bottleneck them, so they can't surround you.
Well, they actually did kind of surround me.
Oh,
That was kind of the idea, but because Pogo and the ape can both take plenty of hits, it worked out. When I had the girl, I basically had them on either side of the girl kind of protecting her.
yeah, I did that too.
Oh, I just hid her away somewhere.
Corner.
He kept dying on me.
You have to hide
Yeah,
her
I
away.
usually had the girl in the center, and then they were on either side of her protecting her.
Is that a move in chess? Is that what castling is?
Does anyone know what the hell castling is?
No.
Yeah. There's things in chess where, like, you move your king over your rook or something like that, and it creates a barrier with your rook.
I'm glad someone knew.
In the latest manest of terms.
Laymanus.
Laymanest.
You calling
That's
me
for
lame?
ruining our fun, Shouty.
I
With your reasonable explanation.
I enjoyed experimenting with positioning and like walking around behind enemies and seeing where they could attack and how I could manipulate the ranges of their attacks. Like the dinosaur's main attack hit diagonally in front of him, and then his secondary attack, which wasn't as powerful, was like all around him.
Yeah.
So it was neat getting to learn that stuff about enemies. I enjoyed learning about positioning.
Yeah, that's not as useful for the caveman chapter, but like in other chapters that becomes really essential. Like I know in the wrestling chapter, like positioning yourself and baiting certain moves becomes really important.
Alright, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I also liked how there weren't any, like, there's no MP or anything.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
It is a nice battle system with
I
the
think that
like,
encourages experimentation.
Yeah.
isolated battles. That's always nice.
That's right, you regain your health after each battle.
Oh
Yeah, I always love that. And it makes it feel more tactical, too, because it's like each battle is its own little tactical setup that you need to execute.
Yeah, I think with a battle system like this, you need each battle to be on its own. Having a continuous HP makes more sense for a more, the more standard Final Fantasy sort of battle system.
Yeah.
So, actually, on that note, I was wondering, what's your past experience with tactical RPGs, and how similar is this to a tactical or strategy RPG or whatever? Mario fan?
Well, I have played my fair share of Fire Emblems and Shining Force and Final Fantasy Tactics, but none of that was very helpful here.
Really?
Well, I was playing the game under the guise that it was like an action RPG.
Yeah, that it is not.
Yeah, that was my folly.
Okay. That was your folly.
Yes. That was the broken link in this whole saga. No, it did not occur to me that it did not occur to me that this was to be played more like a tactical game, because I'm used to tactical games having a menu system for moving around, but here you're moving around automatically, so it didn't hit me that this was tactical.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I do like how, instead of displaying you how far you can walk, you just get to walk and it takes up time.
Yeah.
Subeg, you said it wasn't too much like a tactical RPG, as I recall?
Yeah, not really. I love strategy RPGs, tactical RPGs. It's one of my favorite genres. Shining Force is one of my favorite games. I've played Advance Wars and Fire Emblem and stuff too. Final Fantasy Tactics. This works pretty differently, especially because in those games the battlefield is much bigger and you have a lot more people to control. In this one, and also each of those characters can't do a whole lot, like they each have specialized abilities. In this game, you only have like a couple different characters, but then they have like a whole different range of abilities they can use. So it's kind of more about how you use your individual characters and how you strategize using their different skills, as opposed to managing a whole army, basically. So it works pretty differently, and the arena is also really small compared to other strategy RPGs. So I think there's some of the same principles, but in execution it works very differently.
So, where a strategy RPG might be a game of chess where the pieces complement each other, this is it plays more like a typical JRPG where each character has a multitude of directions to explore in terms of combat.
Pretty much, yeah. And like in a strategy RPG, you'll have an archer unit, and an archer unit can only do ranged attacks. And in this game, like, every character can do melee attacks, and almost every character has some kind of ranged attack. So it's just, the balance is just a lot different.
Yeah, I guess it's part of it is preferring like Pogo and Gory both have poison field attacks, but Gory's is wider, while Pogo's is more focused and does more damage. So I guess part of it is just which variety you prefer. Shouty, have you any experience with tactical RPGs?
I played a Fire Emblem game for quite a bit in my youth.
And
That's about it.
did any of that carry over?
I don't think so. I think I played this game rather casually, actually, as far as tactical RPGs go.
That is, that's another thing. The battles aren't nearly as long as tactical RPGs.
No.
That's probably a big part of why I enjoy it. I've never been able to get into Shining Force 2.
That's a shame.
So yeah, it's just like, I feel like I'm just going through battles like I would in any RPG.
Yeah, you have like 30-second encounters.
Mm-hmm.
It's the half-minute hero syndrome.
Yeah.
The battle system in general just has a lot more in common with like turn-based RPGs than it does with strategy RPGs.
Yeah, even if the format is similar.
That's interesting in and of itself, where I don't know what to make of that. Like, you can't discount the strategy element, but
No, I mean, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have to account for how the strategy relates more to the typical JRPG sort of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it borrows elements from both heavily. In practice, it just ends up being more like a typical JRPG turn-based battle system, but it just kind of has like some of the positioning is nods to tactical RPGs, which I think is kind of cool. It makes it more dynamic than like a simple turn-based system.
It makes it more dynamic, yeah, and I think it also makes it more transparent, where in JRPGs, your options are typically all in menus, and you have to observe like stat buffs and stuff like that. Whereas it's just really easy to think about positioning and how to control your enemies that way.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty intuitive. Like the live-a-live battle system just kind of clicked pretty instantly for me, which apparently did not happen for Wario Fan.
I'm sorry.
Apparently, Wario Fan ran on instinct, which is appropriate considering that he's a caveman.
Are you calling me a Neanderthal?
No.
Is that your best Brooklyn accent?
You calling me a Neanderthal, huh?
He's saying that your
Get 'em,
ancestors had
boys.
sex with Neanderthals. That's all he's suggesting.
Oh.
Oh man. Now we're getting political.
Is
that political? I didn't know something like that was political.
There's the Whig Party and there's the Neanderthals.
Well, I know who I'm voting for in 2016. I'm voting for Oog.
When a game is unfair, it's just plain not fun, right? Well, maybe not. Let's take a closer look at some unfair games and rethink the whole thing.
This guy, Brandon Sheffield, he's the editor-in-chief of Game Developer Magazine, and he's talking about his roots as a game player. He grew up with the TurboGrafx, and he's talking about a specific move in Valis 3. He says, "This is most likely something one would want to avoid in the modern era, because it feels like the game has tricked you, and you've clearly made the roll visually, but it's still counted as a death. Less obvious, though, is the triumph you feel after defeating that particular difficult section. It's as though you succeeded in spite of the game's efforts to thwart you. You are actually fighting against the game itself, which we're generally told not to do. But in a modern game like Demon's Souls, it makes the thrill of victory that much more compelling." So, Soupeg, I brought this up before the podcast, and you said you had some words about it.
Yeah, well, generally I hate punishing difficulty. That's sort of a gamer trait of mine that I don't like really difficult games. I just don't generally have a lot of fun with it. But I kind of like the sentiment here, because even though I don't like hard games, I like Demon's Souls a lot. I like Dark Souls a lot, which seems contrary because those are kind of infamous now for being like the really difficult games of like this generation. He said you're kind of fighting against the game itself, which is the feeling that I got with Demon's Souls and Dark Souls, and it was actually satisfying in those games because the games were built around that idea. Like with all the different like internet multiplayer things, where you have like different players putting down messages and warning you, and you can like summon other players to help you in co-op. It just kind of feels like it's everyone versus this really mean game, and it just kind of makes it kind of fun because that's how the game is built to begin with.
Okay. If I might ask, what's the difference between this and Master of Darkness?
I did not get the same feeling out of Master of Darkness. Master of Darkness, I don't know. I just didn't really. It's hard to articulate what the difference is between a game that's designed to be fought against and just a really difficult game. But Dark Souls kind of like flaunts its difficulty. It says you're going to die a lot. It like prepares you for it.
And you're expecting it.
You're expecting it, and you also have to like, you kind of have to outsmart the game. Like, you figure out things, ways to proceed that you wouldn't have thought at first, and it's very different from from something like Master of Darkness, where the difficulty doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like I'm being outsmarted. It's like you move really slowly, and I just felt kind of frustrated that I wasn't able to jump out of the way fast enough all the time. I don't know.
So it's kind of like, with Master of Darkness, you definitely have to play within the bounds of the game, but Demon Souls kind of gets you to think outside the box?
Yeah, it kind of makes you think outside the box, and I think it would be, I think it really helps you, like, that the little signs you leave on the ground, those really help this feeling that it's like you and the rest of the gaming populace are fighting to defeat this really mean game. I think there's an appeal to that. Like, I think that's kind of, people turned Winnie the Pooh baseball into something like that. Like, it's just everyone on the internet collaborating to defeat this really evil beast of a game.
I didn't expect Winnie the Pooh baseball to come up again.
If you don't know what Winnie the Pooh baseball is, it's this really, really hard Flash game that is, like, intended for kids, but is impossibly hard. But there's, like, sort of a internet camaraderie around people playing that and trying to get through it. It's just, it kind of creates sort of an interesting dynamic to it. And Demon Souls and Dark Souls sort of created that dynamic on purpose. So I think that's part of what the appeal is.
The Winnie the Pooh dynamic.
The baseball dynamic.
So, what I'm getting is that they should combine Demon Souls and Winnie the Pooh baseball into Pooh's Souls.
No, Poe's Souls.
Oh.
Thank you, I'm here all week.
Yay.
Shouty, did you have any thoughts on that quote?
It really strikes me, like, currently, because, I just, going back to Drill Dozer, that one boss I mentioned that was really difficult, without the controls, it has an unexpected second form. Spoilers. So, I don't know. I found that kind of frustrating when I was confronted by that second part of the boss battle. But, I don't know. I feel like after I got through the first form of that one part, I just wanted to do it over and done with it. So, I feel like that, in some cases, like maybe if it's a really like a battle that means something to the game's plot, and if the context just shows that it's like a really long, grueling battle, then I feel like the game should come up and hit you with something hard instead of I don't know, just being very tedious and long and drawn out.
So, I guess what it sounds like is Drill Dozer failed to engage you as, like, you didn't get the thrill of fighting with the game itself?
No, I didn't. Why would I want to fight with a game that has such a wonderful aesthetic?
That's okay. That's fair.
Because he insulted your mother.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Drill Dozer's a she.
Yeah. Well, the robot, I don't know. I think it's like indeterminate gender.
It's a drill gender.
And then again, I feel like they should have expected that second form because most bosses will rise from the ashes in that game, as it were. Nothing to do with the second form.
Oh. So, Wario fan, have you ever had the experience of fighting against the game itself?
Like when the game is difficult to the point where you're like, you gotta beat this?
If that's how you see the quote, I mean, it's kind of open for interpretation.
Oh. Like Ninja Gaiden hard, or? Cause,
Sure.
I felt pretty, victorious managing to beat the original NES Ninja Gaiden without any save states whatsoever.
Did you use continues?
That's amazing.
Of course I use continues. I'm not perfect.
Yeah, I beat it my first time with my eyes closed.
He's not Battletoads good.
La Mulana was pretty tricky too, come to think of it.
Even with the guide?
No, I think the guide pretty much, spoiled me there, but, I can't imagine being able to figure most of that stuff out on my own, cause it's really a brain scratcher on how to, figure out some of the riddles in that game. I mean, it's incredibly satisfying, getting a new treasure, but gosh, they really like trapping you.
Are the riddles on the level of, badly translated original Zelda text?
No, not quite. It's purposely cryptic.
Oh.
I mean, there's always a context to it, but like you gotta figure out, when does this context come into play, or does this involve this room, or does it involve a room later on, or?
Oh, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where you don't know where you're looking for.
It's always vague, and there's not a whole lot to help you. There's no Navi, as it were, to point you in the right direction. No Midna, no Fee, no Paddle. Fee.
Fine.
Fee.
Oh.
Anyway.
I guess there are a lot of Navis in games currently where, like in the last story, it's sort of an action tactical RPG, except your teammates constantly tell you what strategy to use, like, oh, you want to flank them from this side. And I'm playing Castlevania, Mirror of Fate, and they always give you an arrow to your next destination, even though it's sort of an open world. But that makes sense. It's more an action game than an adventure game, so I wouldn't want to be searching around anyway.
Yeah, your Navi in Dark Souls is the rest of the internet.
That's right, yeah, okay.
It's interesting in that regard.
I never thought of it like that.
And you just have to hope that they say helpful things instead of just putting praise the sun everywhere.
Have you tried talking to Saria? I guess personally, I felt like I was fighting against the game in Super Mario Brothers, The Lost Levels, and Yoshi's Island, where just to beat Lost Levels, you encounter a lot of deception, and it was kind of a neat game of like, where's the next invisible coin block gonna be? Where I knew the game was gonna try to screw me over at every turn possible, and it was a matter of like predicting how it would try to do that. So that was pretty satisfying. And Yoshi's Island has the same sort of stuff when you try to 100% it, where there's a lot of challenges that just seem like zany and off the wall, and like grabbing a red coin before it scrolls off screen because like a Shy Guy stays on screen for all of 2 seconds. When you're trying to 100% that game, it's really mean-spirited, and it's kind of fun to play along with.
I mean, don't get me started with more Monkey Madness.
Oh goodness. Monkey Madness. So,
I was watching a bunch of people play Ikaruga yesterday. That's an interesting one. Speaking of mean-spirited games,
is that game well, it's difficult, but I feel like it's just like that's what shmups are.
I guess they were just like there were some things that just seemed really, really devious about it.
We can't all be parodious.
Parodious is pretty easy.
Ikaruga? Or
Parodious.
Oh. Yeah, I think that was the point.
It's really meaningless and continues in checkpoints.
So it was R-Type 3.
Oh,
Rip
well.
Iron. Rip in peace, Iron.
I remember them. Thank you, John.
Oh, look who thinks he's Seinfeld.
No, that's John Tron, not Seinfeld.
John
Look
Fell.
who thinks he's Don Trot.
Sign-tron.
Can Ego Raptor be Kramer? Or would he be George?
I don't know. Ego Raptor would be like
Newman?
the worst parts of Newman and like the worst parts of George.
Ugh.
Are you saying George has flaws?
George is Larry David. He is flaws.
Is this now a Seinfeld podcast?
I hope so. We're going to talk about if they made an Ocarina of Time movie, which Seinfeld actors would be used in what places.
I think Ego Raptor is like every Seinfeld character. Because the point of Seinfeld is that every character is just a really horrible person to their very core.
Yeah.
What if an Ego Raptor fan hears this?
We lost all of one viewer.
Viewer.
Or listener.
I like his animation.
Like his animation.
Oh. We're gonna go to the pronunciation corner. At his desk is Shouty. Shouty, how do you pronounce this game's name?
I've always pronounced it as Live Alive.
Live Alive?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wario fan, how do you pronounce this game's title?
I go for Live Alive.
Okay. I'm glad
Interesting.
one of us is. So Soupegg, what have you concluded on how to pronounce this title?
I have always pronounced it Live a Live.
We have such diversity in this podcast.
I think
We
Live
have
Alive
been-
is the correct pronunciation, though.
It probably is. The whole thing smells like something that maybe makes more sense in like English than it does in English.
Although the Japanese pronunciation is Raibu Araibu, which would translate more into Live Alive.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess mine is correct, but I prefer Live Alive.
There's also, the second live is backwards.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
neither do I. I really don't want to.
Live a Evil.
Yeah, it's a confusing title.
Okay. We haven't had much use for the pronunciation desk, so I'm glad we were able to put it to use.
It's nice.
All that money didn't go for nothing after all.
Exactly.
I got a new desk.
What?
I got a new desk.
You can only use it
I
for
can safely
pronunciation.
say this was a Kickstarter well worth the effort.
So, final words. Wario fan?
I think I'm going to reevaluate my playing styles with this game and tackle it from a different angle.
That sounds like a good idea. You mean tackle enemies from a different angle?
No, literally tackle my computer screen.
Seatbag, any final words?
I've played this game before, but I'm having fun with it again, and I look forward to re-experiencing the rest of it.
Alright. Why isn't this chapter as good as Ninja?
This chapter's better than Ninja. All the chapters are better than Ninja.
Oh no. I hope someone doesn't hear this.
I heard it, and Ninja's my favorite.
Censor it. Censor it.
But Robot's the best. We can have all these discussions later.
Robot's definitely the best.
Oh, of course you think Robot's the best.
Of course I do.
Robot's the best.
No, Gundam is the best chapter.
There actually is kind of a Gundam chapter, so.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not my favorite.
It could probably be the worst game in the world. We could put a Gundam in it and you'd love it.
This is very true.
Tim and Eric, the game, featuring a Gundam.
I might draw the line. That might just be negative enough to cancel out Gundam.
Hey Tim, let's activate the diarrhea Gundam.
Oh no! What have you done?
Oh god. Why?
I'm sorry I've ruined every Gundam now.
Shouty, can you help us recover from that?
Only if you beat the mammoth.
Say that again?
Only if you beat the mammoth.
Oh. Did you beat the mammoth?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yes. In some ways. But no. In which I can't spoil.
Oh.
How many squares does he take up?
5 million.
Oh my god, I'm not doing this one.
Did I say 5 million? I meant, 0.5.
Oh, alright.
0.5.
I got my
Sounds like
scientific
baby.
notation mixed up.
We're not on the metric system.
Alright. It's been a blast. Hopefully we'll continue with the live alive, fly, live alive. And, see you around.
Good chapter.
All music used on this podcast was taken from Live Alive. I'll leave you on this final note. While discussing the quote of the week, we covered the concept that it's important for developers to convey their intentions clearly. For instance, even though Dark Souls is a very frustrating and demanding game, it can still be fun because the developers let you know up front what you're in for. It seems to me, then, that games have a special ability to communicate that we haven't seen in other mediums. For instance, we read a 400-year-old English book, and we can't understand a lick of it. So that makes me wonder, will video games have a greater staying power than any other media? I don't know. It's something to consider. Anyway, I'll see you around.